Hi, this is Elian.
And this is Bruno.
And
And
this
this
is
is Going Global OU Edition. Neighbors by a small stretch of water.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is that Westeros?
No, but you are not totally wrong. The land of Westeros was basically on today's country. But no, the country that you're going to discuss today is Sweden.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. Anyways, as Rune said, Sweden, or in Swedish, Sverg.
Sverige.
Sverige!
Sverige. That took longer than I expected.
Anyway, Sweden is a member of the European Union since 1995. And although being a member, it does not use the euro as a currency. The actual currency is the krona, although the country fulfills 3 out of the 4 requirements to join the economic treaty. Not to worry though, euros are widely accepted. Sverige.
Spanish, oh my god, dude. You're gonna have that word the whole day. They use the Type C and F outlets, and they now drive on the right side of the road. Fun fact, in the 3rd of September of 1967, Hoger traffic kom Langingen, also known as the right-hand traffic diversion. The entire country of Sweden changed from driving on the left-hand side to the right one, which led to many accidents.
The political system in Sweden is, and I quote, parliamentary representative democratic monarchy, which means they have a parliament called Riksdag. The electors vote on the members of the parliament, who then proceed to elect a president of the parliament. That indicates a prime minister, head of the executive government, who must then be approved by the parliament. If he isn't approved by the use of the motion of no confidence, misitro ende votum. If then the prime minister survives through all of this, he must then compile a list with 22 ministers that are also subject to the approval of the parliament. Today's Prime Minister is Stefan Löfven. Being a monarchy, Sweden also has a king, as stated in the Act of Succession of 1809, that allowed the House of Bernadotte to rise into power. The royal family, much like its English counterpart, does not have that much influence into politics anymore. The current king is Carl XV Gustaf of age 72. The next in line of succession is his daughter, Princess Victoria, and her children, Princess Estelle and Prince Oscar. Up until 1979, only the firstborn son of the king would become a king himself, and that replaced Prince Carl Philip, brother of Princess Victoria, the next in the line of succession. But due to the fact that the law was retroactive, that stripped him of the rights to the throne, making his sister, Princess Victoria, the next in line. And you thought that American politics was complicated.
And guess what it is? My favorite part of this video. Food! While the Scandinavian countries, especially Sweden, are known for their fish dishes, there are many other flavors, recipes, and foods worth discovering. Due to Sweden's large size, there are regional differences between the cuisine on the north and south Sweden. Historically, in the far north, meats such as reindeer were eaten, while fresh vegetables have played a larger role in the south. I prefer the north, by the way. Many traditional dishes employ simple, contrasting flavors, such as the traditional dish of meatballs, and brown cream sauce with tart, pungent lingonberry jam. Slightly similar in taste to cranberry sauce, by the way. Swedish cuisine could be described as centered around cultured dairy products, crisp and soft, often sugared, breads, berries, beef, chicken, lamb, pork, eggs, and seafood. Potatoes are often served as a side dish. It also has a huge variety of bread of different shapes and sizes, and sweetbreads are often seasoned with spices. Fruit soups like rose hip soup and blueberry soup, blåbärssoppa, served hot or cold, are common. Butter and margarine are traditional fat sources, although olive oil is becoming more popular. Sweden's pastry tradition features a variety of yeast buns, cookies, biscuits, and cakes. Many of them are a variety of sugary, stale, and often eaten with coffee. What you all like? Traditional dishes may include Swedish meatballs, Jansson's temptation, raggmunk, krabkakor, gravlax, totskagen, and cinnamon buns.
In 2018, Sweden's population is estimated to be 9.98 million people, which makes it the 91st largest country in the entire world by population. Its population density is 24.2 people per square kilometer, with more people living in the south than in the frozen north. Since 2012, the number of people immigrating has far surpassed the number of people emigrating, making a net gain in population. Today, about 1/5 of the population has an immigrant background. And, compared to current European Union standards, Sweden has a relatively high fertilization rate, measured at 1.9 births per woman. However, this has decreased from the 1.99 births per woman in 2011. There are more men than women in Sweden, 50.07% of the population of men compared to the 49.93% of the women population. The larger amount of the population is situated in the urban areas, approximately 86% to be precise. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm, and the city is inhabited by a population of over 911,000, with 1.4 million in urban areas and 2.2 million in the metropolitan areas. The literacy rate in 2016 is very high, at 99% for the total population, men and women. Although there are no official statistics for the ethnicity of the Swedish population, it is estimated that 1.921 million people are either immigrants themselves or have an immigrant background. This background includes the indigenous population of the Swedes, with Finnish and semi-minorities, and foreign-born or first-generation immigrants like Turks, Greeks, Finns, Yugoslavs, Danes, and Norwegians. The dominating religion in Sweden is Lutheranism at 87%, while other minorities like Orthodox, Roman Catholic, Baptist, Muslim, Buddhist, and Jewish composing the other 13%. The official language is Swedish, but it also includes Semi and Finnish-speaking minorities. And no population is complete without it?
And guess what it is? My favorite part of this video, food! While the Scandinavian countries, especially Sweden, are known for their fish dishes, there are many other flavors, recipes, and foods worth discovering. Due to Sweden's large size, there are regional differences between the cuisine on the north and south Sweden. Historically, in the far north, meats such as reindeer were eaten, while fresh vegetables have played a larger role in the south. I prefer the north, by the way. Many traditional dishes employ simple, contrasting flavors, such as the traditional dish of meatballs, and brown cream sauce with tart, pungent lingonberry jam. Slightly similar in taste to cranberry sauce, by the way. Swedish cuisine could be described as centered around cultured dairy products, crisp and soft, often sugared, breads, berries, beef, chicken, lamb, pork, eggs, and seafood. Potatoes are often served as a side dish. It also has a huge variety of bread of different shapes and sizes, and sweetbreads are often seasoned with spices. Fruit soups like rosehip soup and blueberry soup, blåbärssoppa, served hot or cold, are common. Butter and margarine are traditional fat sources, although olive oil is becoming more popular. Sweden's pastry tradition features a variety of yeast buns, cookies, biscuits, and cakes. Many of them are a variety of sugary, stale, and often eaten with coffee. What you all like? Traditional dishes may include Swedish meatballs, Jansson's temptation, raggmunk, krabkakor, gravlax, totskagen, and cinnamon buns.
Although I personally prefer to discover other cultures by their food, some people might not agree. For those people, here are some interesting places to visit while you're in Sweden. The Vasa Museum, the historical villages of Svensken and Djurgården, Stockholm's Old Town, also known as Gamla stan, the fairy tale Drottningholm. The fairy tale
Drottningholm.
Drottningholm Palace.
Perfect.
The fairy tale Drottningholm Palace on the island of Lofoten, home of the royal family. Stockholm's archipelago, home to almost 30,000 islands. Kiruna's Ice Hotel, the first of its kind. The 19th century Gotha Canal, the land of the midnight sun, on Abisko National Park. Some things that you might not want to do as a tourist are the following. Drink water from bottles, as the Swedes are very ecologists. Littering. Sweden is the main country that is leading the way towards ecology, and they consider it very, very unrespectful to throw trash if it's not in a trash container. Don't get too close to the locals, as Swedes find their personal space something very, very important. And don't think if someone does not answer because they do not want to talk. Swedes are people that take their time to say what they want to say, so don't feel awkward if there's an awkward gap of silence in the conversation. Swedish history is very long and complicated, but the best way to summarize is 4000 BCE, farming begins in Sweden. 800 CE, Viking Age begins. 1004, King Olaf makes Christianism the official religion of Sweden. 1319, Sweden and Norway are united under the rule of this king. 1349, Black Plague kills a bunch of people. 1397, the Kalmar Union is established, that united Sweden, Denmark, and Norway under a single king. 1523, Sweden is Sweden again. 1648, the Swedish Empire begins. 1707, the Swedish invade Russia but are stopped by the weather. By the way, what's the deal with Russia and the weather? 1875, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark establish kronos as a single currency. 1901, Alfred Nobel creates the Nobel Prizes. 1995, Sweden joins the European Union. And that's when we get to the modern age.
Sweden is a country that is well known for the place where many heavy metal bands take birth. But it does not just bring rock and metal bands. It also has many famous people that are from there. Some of the best known famous people from this country are Alfred Nobel, the founder of the Nobel Prize, Dolph Lundgren, famous actor that played the Soviet boxer Ivan Drago on Rocky IV, Avicii, a DJ and great composer, as well as the band Europe, famous for their song The Final Countdown, and Amon Amarth, one of the many bands that revolutionized the Viking metal genre in the world. Leaving the heavy side of music, Sweden also gave birth to a famous pop group, ABBA, and songs like Dancing Queen and Mamma Mia. And oh, I almost forgot there is this weird guy that posts videos on YouTube. I don't know if you have heard of him. His name is PewDiePie.
As a modern economy, Sweden is an export-oriented economy with timber, hydropower, and iron ore constituting the base of the economy. Sweden's engineering sector accounts for 50% of the output and exports. Telecommunications, the automotive industry, and the pharmaceutical industry are also of great importance. Agriculture accounts only for 2% of the GDP and employment. The largest trade flows are with Germany, the United States, Norway, United Kingdom, Denmark, and Finland. With a GDP of $550 billion and an inflation rate of 0.9% as of 2012, Sweden is the 21st largest economy and has an unemployment rate of 7% and an average salary of $54,000 annually.
Sweden does not have any allies since it is a policy of the country after the outbreak of the World War II. But it has very close ties with Finland, Denmark, Norway, and Iceland. The US-Sweden relationships are very strong, even after a lot of bad attitudes that Sweden had towards the United States during the Vietnam War, in which Prime Minister Olof Palme harshly criticized the US for its participation on it.
Sweden is not frozen in time, and these are some of the events that are happening right now. The Prime Ministerial election is happening this week. China may be boycotting Swedish products. There is not going to be a Nobel Prize for Literature this year, and the Swedish government has proposed a legislation that outlaws sex without explicit consent. Hooray! This was today's country.
We hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.